We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 80.1 FM, KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and now, our World Broadcasting Tag Team Champions of the World and our Cruiserweight Champion.
I'm Ethan.
I'm James.
I'm Rob.
And this is episode 183 of Beyond the Ropes. We are BTR Pro Wrestling Talk. We're on the road to WrestleMania, and we're on top of our game.
Are we really?
3 tries. We only took us 3 tries to get this thing done, and it still was not perfect. It was far from it. But we're gonna go with it. We're just gonna go. We're like AEW.
It's like
we just keep moving
botchamania.
forward. Keep moving forward. No matter how many times there's botches in the match, you just keep putting the same wrestlers out there. Just like what they did with Jade. Didn't even kick out of a match earlier tonight as we're recording this. But
my God.
whatever. It is what it is. Guess what I did today, guys? Guess.
You acknowledged your Campbell's chicken noodle soup.
No, but I acknowledged my tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns.
Goldberg?
The Universal Champion. No, Goldberg. Bill is in retirement now. He
Officially?
I think he might have one more match, unless that was his last match.
Jesus.
Under the contract. But now, if they didn't count the Saudi Arabia shows, that was his last match under his contract.
Look, who's next? They need to stop because it's like, Bill, you're next. You gotta go. You really gotta go, pal. I mean, he can hang out. He can make an appearance. He can do the Broken Skull podcast or something. You don't need to wrestle.
We'll see.
I don't even think the Tokyo Dome could save him.
Are you kidding me? 5 stars with who do they got over there?
With Alex Wright in the Tokyo Dome.
Alex Wright. Bring him out of retirement. What's he doing right now?
I think Alex Wright is working still.
It's still working?
I think so.
I don't know how old. He was pretty young, right?
He was like pretty young. I mean, even then, he still has to be like 40 at
Probably
least.
40. All right. I mean, for crying out loud, people are wrestling in their 60s and 70s. So
Yeah,
I guess
not? Get a WWE Universal title run out of Alex right here in the next 10 years.
Oh dear. All right.
Why not?
You can find us on Twitter at a real BTR Radio. We'll occasionally put stuff on the social medias there. You can find me individually at Ethan 85. You can find James at
JHW Reporter.
And you can find producer Rob Flores at
Rob Flores Media, and don't forget the R2 VMs for Ethan.
Didn't capture the title yet. He has just not been in that 24/7 picture. He's kind of been chasing it,
I mean, that 24/7 title, they got a storyline going on there with Reggie and Dana Brooke.
She won it back this week from him after on Valentine's Day. He took it from her. Her lengthy title reign. She had it for a little bit. But she regained it. Now a 2-time 24/7 champion. You think she's gonna go into WrestleMania with it? Maybe who wins? Someone's gotta win it at WrestleMania, right?
I mean,
like there's a story going into.
At least there's a story behind it. I mean, look how long it took him to get a story going on there. Like a legitimate story of some sort where there's actually some context to it. Sure, why not?
There's 5 people in this division. You got Tamina, Tozawa,
I'm sure
Reggie and Brooke.
I'm sure it's gonna be. It'll probably change hands twice. One the first night, again the second.
There you go. You have someone win it, and then probably someone will win it back.
Get a few people over. Why not?
Why not? Let's talk about the road to WrestleMania. We had a little, detour. You want to call it in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
That's a big detour.
They got a little lost. They took a 20-hour flight or something like that.
Something like that.
Over to Saudi Arabia for the Elimination Chamber event, which kicked off with The Miz taking on Rey Mysterio in the kickoff show. This is kind of a late one. I think we all posted our predictions, or I posted the predictions for everyone as soon as this match either finished or just started. But we all gave our predictions. James, you predicted Miz. Rob predicted Mysterio. And I predicted Miz as well. Mysterio ended up getting the victory thanks to some assistance from Dominic Mysterio, Rob's favorite wrestler. But we'll find out. Miz got a little payback this past Monday.
Yeah.
Got a new tag team. Let's just talk about it right now, since we're on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, can we? So Jake Paul, right? Is it Jake Paul?
Logan,
one
the
of
older
them.
brother, the
One
older
of them.
brother.
And I think both of them box at this point, right? And
Both
so
of them box. They're making that money.
yeah,
Getting that heel heat.
They're getting the heat. They already had some the Snapchat stories about the Logan brothers been boxing. Now they're in wrestling, right? And one of so this is the one that was in wrestling before, right? He
was the one the last year at WrestleMania. He got stunnered by Kevin Owens.
And that's what I don't like is we're kind of getting a lot of repeat.
You want some new faces? You're telling me.
I need some new something because
you don't want the Goldbergs of the celebrity leagues. You want the young fresh faces.
I mean, this is what Logan Paul's second appearance. It's just like you did that last
match,
year.
To be fair,
is that okay? He hasn't.
No, he appeared in like a storyline sort of with Sammy and Kevin, but he was not in a match.
He jumped over the rail out of the crowd. Is that what it was?
No, he was.
Or there was some build up
in Sammy's corner. He was in Sammy's corner, and then he turned on him, and then he got stunned by Owens. Right.
So there's that, and then I'm blanking on it at the moment, but there was some other celebrity or some other where I'm just kind of like, didn't we do this already? I'm sure it'll come up. I can't think of it at the moment, but this was just one of maybe one or two examples, or two or three examples where it's just kind of like,
I mean, there's Bad Bunny.
I think it's Bad Bunny potentially coming back. And
he did the Royal Rumble. Speaking of Bad Bunny, by the way,
go ahead.
The Undertaker showed up at a Bad Bunny show in Texas. You didn't hear about this?
I didn't, but it doesn't surprise me. The Undertaker's cool. The Undertaker
came up in his motorcycle. Kid Rock was playing.
Oh, okay. Well,
American, he was doing.
Wait, at a Bad Bunny concert?
Yeah, he had the whole thing.
Wait,
there's a video. There's a video on Twitter.
Wait, Bad Bunny and Kid Rock have a song together?
No, Kid Rock. It was Undertaker's theme. His first theme when he was.
No, I know. So
they don't have a song. It was just a song that played over.
Oh, okay.
To kind of introduce the Undertaker now. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, Bad Bunny, the biggest probably celebrity in recent memory over here, being a huge WWE fan.
See, but I'm not mad at Bad Bunny because he actually Logan Paul can go ahead. He can impress me. He has his chance too. So I'm not knocking him. He said he didn't have a match before, and that's true. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But it still just reminds me of same old when you got Brock and Roman again, and I don't know. Yeah. I think there was like another match that feels like a super repeat already. I don't know.
Well,
go ahead.
I mean, we did get a Miz TV segment where Miz was going to announce his tag team partner. He was interrupted by Ray and Dominic. Miz definitely teased, saying there was someone that was dashing that was coming. And of course, that teased. There was a few teases. For one, we talked about him for most of the show last week, actually. Cody Rhodes, who apparently is getting no-named in AEW already. CM Punk, I think, there was apparently a really good promo with MJF and Punk. And CM Punk mentioned, I saw your match with, what's his name? So Cody Rhodes already getting shunned.
But that's weird, though. That's just a little laugh for them. But, like, even that's kind of weird because it's like he thanked a lot of those guys in his letter, and it didn't seem like there was any sort of heat.
Well, Punk didn't want him to have that type of money. He wanted him to have the same contract
because he wanted Punk money.
He wanted Punk money, apparently.
When the whole reason the show is going on is in large part because of him. Is AEW anything without Cody Rhodes?
Yeah. I think so, but I'm not gonna take away. I think he was a big part of that, especially the origins. Yes, a huge part of helping maybe book it originally and helping get a lot of those talents over and those names. For crying out loud, his wrestling school was kind of like the training
Later.
grounds, a performance
Mhm.
center of sorts for some of those guys. So, you know, yeah, I think he was a huge part of it. Obviously,
Now he's just a
CM Punk
bum.
is going to be CM Punk, but anyways. So, well, I mean, we could talk more about Cody and what he will possibly be doing in the next month or so. But we'll see that for a little bit later. Getting back to the Miz really quick and Logan Paul, he introduced Logan Paul, and they let out the Mysterios, hitting 2 skull-crushing finales for that segment there. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna see another celebrity match. It is what it is. I mean, I guess.
I mean, I get it. I get it why they're doing it. He brings in money. I mean, he does the boxing thing, and the pay-per-view numbers apparently do very well and all that. But
they got to sell 200,000 tickets.
Hey, some people say the boxing matches are a work. So hey,
yeah,
he might fit right in with what we got going on over here in the wrestling world. It's the work, brother.
It's a work. It is a work. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the main event. Started off the actual event, not the pay-per-view. I don't know if I've been saying pay-per-view. Gotta say it right. The premium live event.
Premium live event.
Premium live event. That on a t-shirt. Roman Reigns, of course, to a huge ovation from the crowd, came out to take on Bill and led Bill to a 5-star match.
Bill.
Chef's kiss. A high caliber match. Did you watch the match?
Why would I watch that match? With Goldberg?
It was like
was
5
Cade
minutes.
in it?
It was 5 minutes.
Of course
Gage was not in
it. If Cage and I don't want to watch it. Gage, whatever the heck his name is.
I can't tell if you're shooting or working with his name. I can't.
I forget, honestly. I mean, he's like 14 years old. I don't expect him to,
All right. Well,
I guess he wouldn't name him Cage, right?
Gage. G.
Gage. Oh, it's with a G. I thought it started with a C and had a G.
No, it's not Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Oh, because I was thinking of Nicholas, because Nicholas is the other young
Nicholas is the other up and comer. Come on, now sign him to a contract. Yeah, he's probably like 20 now.
So I get my Nicholases and my Cages and my Gauges mixed up. My bad.
All right. Goldberg hit 2 spears, I believe. Almost took out. I was worried for a second. I was like, oh no.
Oh no. Did you really?
For a second. For a split second. But then, he didn't connect Jackhammer. Roman did not let him. And he got him in that the front face lock, which is the guillotine, and made him pass out. Sent him back to Atlanta.
So he didn't pin him, huh?
Go coach Gage's football team. Actually, I think they moved to Texas. So they're in
Texas.
So
did he choke him out the same way he did Seth?
Yeah. Well, technically, Seth won that match.
Well, right.
But yes, he did pass out. He didn't tap out.
Yeah. Well, I said choked him out.
Add Goldberg to the match. Make it a triple threat of Mania.
No. We don't need to do no.
Should add Seth to the match, though.
No.
What do you mean, no? You don't think so?
He's in a tag team.
There's history there.
Keep it in the past. Keep it history.
He apparently wants it because he keeps replying to those messages. He was laughing. Did you see his tweet?
Who, Seth?
Seth was just trolling this weekend. He clearly wants to be in that match.
When isn't he, though?
I know, but especially immediately after the pay-per-view, and he was just putting ha ha ha.
Goldberg Austin rumor. Please no.
I don't think so.
25 years ago? Sure. Now? No.
That's not happening. I don't think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do not think Austin is going to wrestle. I don't.
You might be right on that. It looks like they have a few different plans potentially for Kevin Owens, just in case Austin chooses not to wrestle.
Well, and I thought that's some of what we saw on the last episode of television stuff here in the past week. Wasn't he in the middle of a tag team match or something?
That's right. So it looks like he still was insulting Texas. So he left that door open.
And that's where WrestleMania is going to be, right? And Austin is from Texas, so Austin's going to be involved one way or another.
In 2 weeks, Seth and KO will challenge for the tag titles. So if they do win them there, that says, okay, obviously Austin's probably not going to be involved. If they lose, that also opens the door for Seth versus Owens. So now Seth does not have a match at WrestleMania either. And
which is kind of surprised. But we had that match too.
we did have that match, but it was in front of no people. It was the empty Performance Center Mania.
Yeah, but he went through the table. Like, didn't he hurt his ribs? And wasn't there a whole thing? He missed time.
I know. It's not my favorite possibility. I would much rather have them as tag team. Apparently, they had a stellar tag team match. I didn't watch it yet. But I think them challenging for the titles, maybe against RK Bro, why not?
Sure. I mean, that'd be fine. And
give them 20, 25 minutes. Why not?
Yeah, but you're not. But I think Gable and Otis are doing pretty well for themselves, and kind of
make it a triple threat. That's fine.
Yeah,
add the Street Profits. Make it a 4-way.
Just make it a battle royal and just throw the Andre the Giant trophy in the mix, huh?
Okay, let's not go that
far. You're one team away from it being that.
No, or 5. 4. They have plenty of 4-ways at Mania before for the tag title. So
Survivor Series.
No, they've done it at Mania a few times.
I know, but still, it's just like, but you're not gonna put Orton and guys like Seth and Orton in a 6-man or whatever in any sort of fatal 4-way tag.
I agree. It's not the best idea, but they might go that direction.
I mean, I don't know.
They have plenty of tag teams that, they don't need these guys being in tag teams. But, if they've got nothing for them, which is strange to say, they could always go that route. So,
especially for WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Let's get back to the Chamber. Let's talk about, Women's Elimination Chamber. Yeah, Liv Morgan, Nikki ASH, the returning Alexa Bliss, who had to swing inside the chamber pod.
Did she really?
Yeah, we had Rhea Ripley, Bianca
with
Belair,
Old Girl,
and Doudrop.
Was Old Girl in there with her?
Lily was not in there.
Lily,
okay. She was not. So.
Because her counselor or her person said she had to have Lily there at all times. So
she didn't bring her. I don't know if this is an evolved version or if this is the same one. She seemed a little more calmed. But
she looked she looked fine.
She looked a little more normal than the last time we saw her. So it could be like a mix of maybe some of her old stuff as well as,
But if Lily's not there, I mean, maybe she's banned from Saudi Arabia. I don't know. I'm not aware.
No, I mean, this was a decent match. These were 2 of the shortest chamber matches. This women's match was only 15 minutes and the men's was only 14. Normally they have competitors coming in every 5 minutes, but they changed the rules to that.
What are the intervals?
I think it was like 2 minutes this time around. Yeah, it was relatively short just because I guess, I don't know. They probably didn't want anyone getting hurt before Mania. They probably it was just necessary to have this match.
I mean, was it? I mean, it's an elimination chamber. Was it?
They needed a spectacle for the Saudi Arabia crowd.
Yeah, I guess, but
anyways, your
favorite Punjabi prison match.
Oh dear Lord, your favorite Bianca Belair ended up winning the match
as she should.
She will be facing Raw Women's Champion. Spoiler alert! We'll talk about this match after the break. Becky Lynch. We'll talk more about that as well as the rest of the Chamber card and WrestleMania when we return right here on Beyond the Ropes. We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM, KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome back to episode 183 of Beyond the Ropes. I am your host, Ethan, joined alongside the analyst, James Williams, and producer, Rob Flores. We were talking about the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. Say it with me, James. Premium live
event.
Oh God. Anyways, let's talk about the Raw Women's Championship match, the match of the night. I think most people were saying. I was saying it. This was between big time Becky Lynch taking on her childhood hero, her idol, WWE Hall of Famer Lita. And Lita looked really good in this match. Probably the best.
Lita can still go, huh?
The best we've seen her probably since her last singles match, which occurred in 2006. Which is crazy to think about. You know, she's come back a few times, but she's only competed in multi-person matches, tag matches, and the battle royals and rumbles. So She looked really good. People were saying she should have one more run. I agree. Wouldn't be opposed to that, but I think right now we've seen the last of Lita in the ring. But good for her. She got a standing ovation after the match. Again, a great back and forth between these two. Ultimately, after Lita hitting a twist of fate and a lead assault, ended up picking up Becky Lynch and fell into the manhandle slam. Becky Lynch kind of fell into that pin to get the victory. She survived, basically, but she ended up leaving Saudi Arabia with the championship, and she will go on to defend that title against another co-main event, main eventer in Bianca Belair. Both women winning main events at WrestleMania. The only two women to win main events or Mania. So should be interesting.
And seeing that's new, that's different. Sure, they had a little 10-second Bianca was cheated is what happened, but
people didn't think they were going to go back to this.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a 10-second job out of Becky this time around, and we have Belair getting.
They need to have a good match. I think it's Mania.
At the very least, you would hope.
You would hope they would have a good match.
I mean, I'm almost certain they will, but
yeah, hopefully we don't have a 10-second.
I mean, they should have a longer match than Logan Paul.
I would hope so.
I would think so.
I think they'll give Logan Paul 10 minutes. I think they'll give him 10 minutes.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. All right. We had a women's tag team match between SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville, WWE official, taking on number one contender Ronda Rousey and Naomi. By the way, all these women were dressed up, obviously covered up for Saudi Arabia show, but they all look great. I think they did a good job with the outfits this time around. They're not wearing the big giant shirts that they had to wear the first couple times. They were all basically wearing extensions of their own gear.
Interesting.
With the exception of Charlotte Flair, she was wearing, I don't know, she was kind of wearing an all red suit. So was Liv Morgan, but she was kind of like in a Britney Spears inspired outfit.
Interesting.
And then Ronda was dressed in her Olympic judo outfit.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, she was wearing her black belt and her judo outfit. So,
I feel like has she not worn that before or something? I feel like I've seen Like I feel like I've seen her in that before. Maybe it was just in a package before a match built up, maybe during training or something. Maybe that's why it doesn't sound too strange, but interesting.
Mm-hmm. By the way, we all correctly predicted that Lynch would win and Reigns would win. So for this match, James had Ronda Rousey and Naomi win in this, and Rob and I had Flair and Deville. So James ended up getting the victory here. Sir.
I mean, did you really think they were going to have Ronda lose any sort of match?
I didn't think about this, but yeah.
No,
Naomi was there to take the pin.
Huh?
Naomi should have been there to take the pin.
Why?
Because she's Naomi.
So who took the pin? Deville, no?
It was Deville. She tapped out.
Yeah, she should have. But did Naomi really get her comeuppance?
I guess they won the match.
I guess. Like, was it?
By the way, Ronda had one arm tied behind her back. That was
I heard something about that. Yeah.
So still won.
Wait, and she still made her tap?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. She should have lost.
I mean,
anyway,
if Charlotte can't beat a Ronda.
Well, to be fair, Charlotte was watching Sonya tap out. She just stood there on the apron, so it's not like she really tried.
Fair. Okay. There's the truth. There you go.
Next up, we had Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss in a Falls Count Anywhere match. This was a pretty good match. This was kind of the coming out party for good old Madcap Moss.
Oh, good old. I was about to say the same thing. Good old Madcap.
Good old Madcap over here, almost breaking his neck, but Thankfully not. Apparently,
Jeez.
he's good. He's good. You know, that's why you work out your neck. I got to work on my neck because I got
Mhm.
something. I don't know what's going on with my neck. I haven't landed straight head first on it, but yeah, Mad Cop survived a reverse Alabama slam, and still continued as if nothing happened. That this wasn't like the end of the match or anything. It was toward the end, but he still wrestled another couple of minutes before I ended up losing to McIntyre.
Matt,
good.
did old Happy Corbin get involved, or what was his
Of course he
status
did.
in
Of
that?
course he got in a couple of chair shots on McIntyre. He got involved a couple different times, but ultimately Drew hit that Claymore to get the victory.
I was gonna say, so this falls count anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm assuming still happened in the middle of the ring, and they never left the arena.
They went around the ring. They went up the stage.
Yeah, but
they don't want to
That's it.
fall on the prince's lap over there.
Well, no,
Bad
That's
things
what-
happen. Bad things have happened for less over there.
They won't make it back on the plane, right? Yeah.
Oh God. We're totally getting Drew versus Corbin at Mania.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
I
exactly,
mean-
exactly what you said. It's fine.
McIntyre's been what in how many main events? WrestleMania?
I'm not saying he needs to be in the main event, but
No, I'm not either. But I'm just saying, like, he's kind of been a prominent part.
he
won
was in the main event
at
at
Mania.
the PC show.
And then he was like in the main
He
event
opened the
again,
show
but lost.
last year with
Or
Lashley,
opened-
where Lashley won.
Yeah. So
So
sometimes you just get Corbin. Sometimes, yeah.
someone's got to get Corbin, and I guess Drew's our lucky guy this year.
Yeah, you know. But I don't
Sure.
think Corbin's bad. A lot of my friends
No,
give Corbin
I
a hard
think-
time. I think
I-
Corbin's good.
I think Corbin is a good wrestler. I think he can put on a good match. I think
Yeah.
that he's very capable of that. I think this could be a really good match. I just think a lot of the stuff he's in, the storylines are just whatever. That's just usually the
Mhm.
case. It's just kind of like, okay, we're doing this, and it's kind of
Yeah.
something needs to change. I don't know. I mean, they changed
No.
his character recently, but it's not a good character.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely this match on the show. That's the
Yeah.
core. This is the match that falls under.
Yeah. So, all right. Next up, we were supposed to have the Usos defend the tag team titles against the Viking Raiders, and they said
What?
the Usos, we ain't working.
They didn't go?
They attacked Viking Raiders before the
Ah.
match started. This is the match we're getting at Mania right here. The tag title.
Really? So they
Which I'm
did a
fine with.
backstage attack at Saudi.
They didn't know. They had the Viking Raiders come out and everything, do their entrance, and then attack them before they got in the ring. So they had the Viking Raiders come out just to
So
get
you mean to
attacked.
tell me they had this 10, 20-hour plane ride to go to
I'm sure
Saudi
they got
Arabia?
paid good money
I would imagine so, but
just to get beat up. Hey,
I
but you
mean,
get
do they
beat
do a
up by the
dark
bloodline.
are they in the dark match of Saudi? I mean,
They might have.
Is
They
there-
could have had a dark match. It
I
wasn't
would've-
reported, but they could have had a dark.
I would have hoped so. I mean, if I'm getting there for 20 hours, however long, like, I guess, I don't know.
It seemed like a nice trip. They had a royal party. I saw Austin Theory dancing at the royal party over there, and
As he should.
seemed like they were having a good time. Maybe the Viking Raiders had. I think I saw some images of the Viking Raiders party with the prince or something. All right. I'm sure we're gonna get the Usos defending those tag titles, either at a maybe SmackDown event or maybe they're just gonna save it for Mania, which seems more unlikely.
I would say they had this match already. I watched it at the gym, but it had a no finish. Like something happened. It wasn't a full match. Didn't finish. So I think this was before actually. Before
Oh.
Saudi.
Viking Raiders and
Yeah.
Usos.
I
They've
I
had
think it was a
singles
replay.
matches.
No, I think this was a tag team match, but I think it was before Saudi. I saw it at the gym yesterday, but yesterday was Tuesday and SmackDown comes on Friday, so this had to be a replay. So it would have been before Saudi. So never mind.
Okay. Next up, I guess we got through everything. By the way, I predicted
Did
McIntyre.
you mention the elimination chamber?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that right now.
Oh,
I predicted McIntyre. Rob predicted Riddick Moss or Madcap Moss, and you predicted McIntyre. You also had the Viking
I
Raiders.
thought you were gonna say I had old Madcap. I'm like, there's no way I had Madcap.
Me and Rob went with the Bloodline, the Usos.
This
You
doesn't
went
count.
with the Viking Raiders. I think it should count. The Usos played them
Why?
out. It's not
That-
our fault. It's not
The
our fault
bell
the
didn't
Viking
ring. The
Raiders were
match never
lazy.
happened.
It's not our fault they were lazy. They couldn't get up.
Oh, they're lazy. Wow. Okay. How are they lazy? They got on a play. They took a 20-hour trip.
Probably napped the entire time.
You said they were partying, so
They probably did. All right, main event time. We had for the WWE Championship inside the Elimination Chamber, probably the shortest chamber match in history. Brock Lesnar, Austin Theory, Seth freaking Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Riddle. Who am I forgetting? AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Kicked off with Austin Theory and Seth Rollins. Little callback to when Austin Theory was a disciple. Remember that?
Yeah, for like a hot month or something.
For like a hot month. That fever dream we had in 2020 where they were in the PC thing. Right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know if any of that's canon anymore. I think that's like
Probably
alternate
not.
universe stuff. That's multiverse stuff.
I feel like that was kind of mentioned.
That's when Rey Mysterio lost his eye, and then Corbin threw Aleister Black and Rey Mysterio off the roof, and I'm telling you, that's like alternate universe stuff.
Yeah. That might have just a lot of that might have just
I
been
think the
stretched out.
PC stuff is just all because they did a lot of interesting things. Retribution never happened.
It's true. Yeah.
Apollo Crews was U.S. champion. Don't remember that, but that happened during the PC.
Is he even on the card anymore?
He showed up at the Broga party.
So he's not on the card anymore.
He's on TV. Anyways, let's get back to the main event. This was not a fever dream, although it could have been one, I guess. Seth freaking Rollins, the man that he is, power bombed Austin Theory onto the pod that hit Lashley's pod, and Lashley fell like a sack of potatoes. It's kind of funny.
So it wasn't a work. He
and then he was just carried out of the match. He just said, "Oh well, he entered concussion protocol."
Is that how they did it?
That's how they did it.
That's how he got hurt, huh?
No, he was hurt before the match.
Oh, with the arm,
He had apparently, yeah. So apparently he's supposed to have shoulder surgery. I think it happened at the Rumble when he faced Brock. He was landing pretty bad on the shoulder.
Yeah.
The suplexes. So, but yes, apparently he's been fighting through it, and actually he hasn't had any matches since the Rumble. So that would actually make sense. Yeah, apparently he's going to be out for 4 months.
Well, and then too, just like, no, go ahead. I'll mention after.
No, go ahead.
No. Go. It has more with Brock than with Bobby. Go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, Bobby was taken out of the match. Then we had AJ Styles, Riddle, and then Brock eventually came out. Brock cleared everyone else, eliminating Seth, Riddle, AJ. Austin Theory was last. For a second there, I was rooting for Austin Theory. He got a little blow in, showing some offense. And he got F5 off the chamber pod and didn't look good for him. Anyways, new WWE champion, Brock Lesnar. Interesting fact. Brock Lesnar, I think I sent you this tweet, has defeated every black WWE champion in history.
Yeah, The Rock was in that graphic too, right?
Rock.
He not only beat them, he beat them for the title.
For the WWE Championship. The only WWE champions, black WWE champions, were defeated by Brock Lesnar, Kofi, Big E, and now Bobby Lashley.
But wasn't there another? So not Mark Henry?
I think they're specifically talking about WWE, the WWE title.
Okay, I'm just
Mark and Booker T were world heavyweight champions.
Kofi, hold on, I'm just trying to get Kofi, The Rock, Big E, and then
Lashley.
That's right. Even though he didn't necessarily beat he did. No.
He was in the match.
He was in the match. But they didn't interact. No?
Technically. Oh, but they're well, no.
I mean, yeah,
I guess
they
technically
looked at
not.
each other, but
Technically not. They were in the match though. He ended the reign.
yeah, I mean, you could say that, yeah. I wouldn't dismiss that.
Yeah.
Interesting fact, though. I mean, but again, that just goes to show you that, you need some.
Someone was saying Brock History Month.
Oh no!
I was like, oh no.
You just I think it just
not.
goes. It just you need someone like Brock to take someone like a black champion out, right? You can't just have some bum take him
I
out.
guess you could have Roman beat him. Roman has actually beaten both Lashley and Big E. Remember that triple threat match?
Yeah, but not Kofi.
He's a bum. He could beat Kofi. Didn't he beat Kofi like last year or something?
I mean, maybe he had a match. I don't
I think
know.
he did have a match with
Not
him.
for the title though.
Okay, well, what year was this? Was this one? No, I was gonna say if this was a year when no, this was 2019. This was before.
Yeah,
Roman.
but it wasn't for the title. Kofi only lost
Look.
the title once.
Look, he lost it in 8 seconds. He jumped into an F5. Still mad about that.
I mean, there's not much you can do when you jump into an F5.
Can't help it. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about WrestleMania and we'll give out some numbers right here on Beyond the Ropes. We are 22 Us Radio. 22 Us Radio is 22usmedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD3 Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome back to episode 183 of Beyond the Ropes. I am your host, Ethan, joined alongside the analyst, James Williams, and producer, Rob Flores. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes, and of course, Twitter at RealBTR Radio. YouTube, just search up Beyond the Ropes, and you'll see our beautiful faces. Episode 182 was recently uploaded there. So there you go. Enjoy last week's episode. Just finished talking about the Elimination Chamber. Say it with me, James. Premium live
event.
That just occurred. Rob had Austin Theory winning the championship. James had Lashley retaining the championship. And I had Lesnar winning the championship. So I got it. I got that one in.
Yeah, but I also didn't know Bobby Lashley was injured. So I don't know if I was. Okay. So we'll get into the numbers here in a minute.
We'll get into the numbers. Wait, really quick. We're also on Anchor FM right now. Go find us on Anchor. Search up Beyond the Ropes to see or listen to our beautiful voices over there. But go ahead, James. What do you got to say?
Yeah, just a little bit of my reaction to Brock. So you get Brock winning the title here. Didn't he win the Royal Rumble?
Sure did.
And so why are you putting the title on him? And you're going to have champion versus champion at WrestleMania.
They want winner take all. Confirmed.
I don't know what they're doing.
I swear, if they take the title of Roman and give Brock both titles, there isn't.
Is there
there
not
isn't
Money
until
in the Bank?
July. No one's holding the briefcase anymore.
And there's no event. There's no premium live event for Money in the Bank.
Not until July.
Oh, so that's out the window.
That's in Vegas. We got to go to that, by the way.
Yeah, well, we were supposed to go to the Las Vegas show, but
Sir, someone didn't want to go.
Someone couldn't go.
You say so.
So I'm not sure how they're gonna do this. I
know what you do. You
What'd
bring
you do?
in the American Nightmare, the hottest free agent, Cody Rhodes. Have him beat Brock for the title night one, and then Brock challenge for Roman's title.
Or you can have Roman lose to Mr. Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and then maybe Roman just beats Brock or something. That'd be pretty embarrassing if Roman could beat Brock, but not Cody Rhodes.
I'm going to pretend you didn't say that. Can we get some numbers, please?
Yes. Yeah, so here we go. We're going to kick it off with Rampage, AEW's Rampage, their February 18th show. Again, the lowest of the shows for this past week. They went down. They are at 471,000. That's for the February 18th show. AEW Dynamite has reached that 1 million mark. in the last couple weeks, but did not do that this week.
It went down again.
869,000 for their February 16th show. It's somewhere sandwiched in the middle of those was NXT on Sci-Fi with 525 million or 525,000. I don't know if I said Dynamite was 169 million, but that's 869,000 for Dynamite. But anyway, so NXT 525,000 for the February 15th episode. Monday Night Raw was not on Sci-Fi, was back on USA, if I'm not mistaken, obviously with the Winter Olympics coming to a close. That was 1,825,000 for that February 21st show.
Everybody waiting for Cody to show up.
For who?
For Cody.
For Cody, okay. I thought you said Kofi. In the February 18th show, the same day as Rampage, SmackDown comes out looking strong and holding it down in the wrestling world when it comes to television with 2,173,000 for the SmackDown episode on February 18th. So again, just about the standard order there for the wrestling shows. But again, as Ethan mentioned, some of those had lower ratings, obviously the Winter Olympics and some other stuff going on and whatnot. But yeah, those are the viewership numbers for this past week. And yeah, obviously there's been a bunch of other little notes that have been going on, some that Ethan has brought to my attention throughout the week. One that stands out to me is the Gargano family, with Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano getting a new baby into the world. I believe the young upstart's name is Quill Lewis Gargano. So there you go, future champion in the making there in the Gargano household.
Named after Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy.
I did not know that. I didn't, but knowing some of the ring attire that Johnny has worn makes sense. One thing that has stood out to me, I saw this more so in a tweet, but didn't hear this word come from Edge's mouth. But I just thought it was interesting how he held his promo and kind of laid out the challenge to anyone that appeared willing to take on what he's kind of playing up as that next big dog role. Not to talk about Roman there, but with the Undertaker gone and being that legendary figure that's had that moment at WrestleMania, I think Edge is kind of setting the stage for a big time match. And I found it interesting as it was kind of pointed out, highlighted, italicized in the tweet by the official at WWE on Twitter account. They had the word phenomenal. So it looks like
they had a few words.
That was the one there was a few words.
I think the one they pointed out and the one that's obvious is phenomenal.
Is the one phenomenal?
Phenomenal.
But the tweet reads, and it's a quote from Edge. It says, "I still dream about walking down that aisle at WrestleMania, soaking in all that energy that you give me so I can be phenomenal." I don't know if AJ has an opponent lined up, but I think I would like to see AJ and Edge go at it, especially at WrestleMania. Both of these guys, I don't know if it was exactly back-to-back years. Maybe there's the COVID year in between there or something, but both these guys were some of the biggest surprises upon, of course, AJ debuting and Edge returning. Both of those happened at Royal Rumbles. So I think it's pretty neat that these guys are going to get into the ring. I think it should be a great match. I think these guys can work pretty well and put on a good show. Both these guys are known to put on good matches. And this is a match I don't know why I never thought of before, but I think this is a new, fresh match, something I would be looking forward to and excited to see how that plays out. Speaking of AJ, Ethan, I believe you saw this too on the Twitter webs, but it looks like AJ got himself a new deal. Do you know anything about it? I know it was an extension. I don't know how long it was.
But yes, let's talk about AJ Styles. He signed a new contract for around $3 million. AJ Styles making that money. I believe was interviewed. I forget where, but he was interviewed and he talked about basically, I'm happy here and I want to stay here. I want to be able to stay here until I retire. I think he said that before. But I think he reiterated it. WWE on Fox Twitter account and their social media also shared that.
And I thought it was interesting too because didn't he just I feel like he just had a new deal or something
I feel like he did
around the
too.
Twitch stuff.
Yeah, I feel like he did too.
So maybe it's a short-term deal.
Maybe
then,
it's maybe it's just trying to lock in some big names for longer
Mhm.
deals. Obviously,
I mean, hey, they let go of everybody. You might as
they
well
let go
try
of everybody so they can afford some people. If they're looking to pay
I
Cody
guess.
Rhodes, punk money per se, if he might be making $3 million a year coming up soon if he hasn't signed a deal yet.
Maybe.
Real quick, going back to the Edge stuff.
Yeah.
Before we move on, he mentioned a few words. He mentioned inner demons, referencing Finn Balor.
Okay.
He mentioned something referencing Damian Priest as well. I forget which word it was. But then also referenced Cody Rhodes when he mentioned the word undeniable. Cody Rhodes in a promo mentioned being undeniable, one of his more famous promos. So they mentioned a couple different individuals that could face Edge at Mania. The favorite, I think, is AJ Styles, and I think we talked about it a few weeks ago that AJ Edge has kind of been talked about potentially.
I think
These two,
we did talk about it. Go ahead.
I think we might have mentioned it. I don't know if we went to full detail about it, but these two have faced off in a Royal Rumble match when Edge came back. Actually, they had a little back and forth.
A little moment.
Edge speared AJ, and actually that's when AJ got hurt. He wasn't out for long. He made it to that Mania, but this was the 2020 Rumble, so that's when Edge returned. So I think since then there has been like people's talking, let's get this match, happening. So I would be fine with any one of these opponents for Edge. I think the favorite is AJ Styles. I think he seems to be the front runner. I would think that would probably be the best match for Mania, at least, in terms of name quality, for sure.
Yeah. Go ahead. I think just speaking of those two other guys that you mentioned there, both Finn Balor and Damian Priest, I saw both of them look like they were going to get set up for a matchup here.
Next week on Raw.
Yeah.
US title match.
In a similar fashion, Damian Priest kind of laid out a challenge of his own, an open US title challenge of some sort, saying he wanted a world champion caliber opponent. Wanted what else did he say? He said like a good fighter or an athlete, things along those lines. And of course, Finn Balor answers the bell, tells him, be careful what you wish for.
I'm just glad that they consider Finn Balor a world championship caliber opponent.
Well, they don't treat him like he's
I know. I'm just glad he mentioned world champion, and then Finn Balor was the one that came out. I'm glad that's good.
Which was pretty interesting.
I don't know if he's gonna win, but at least he's there out there, I guess.
Well, because when I saw the promo at first, because I watched it on social media, and I had another guy in mind, and maybe I was thinking of AJ or somebody. I knew it wasn't really so much going to be someone returning, but
there's speculation. Not speculation, but it could be. We might see Cody going after that U.S. title.
Maybe. I mean, the thing is, it's not. I think it's not. Again, this is not the WrestleMania match because, I mean, unless they build it up some way based off how next week plays out, but
it could end in a disqualification. And
and then maybe you get the Demon against Damian Priest. That's not. I feel like Damian.
I have not heard that scenario. That actually might be great.
It could. I mean, Damian Priest has kind of had some boos from what I heard in the promo, and a lot of that's just because he's kind of almost working heel, I guess, a little bit. I guess he has like a double split personality.
He has that alter ego. He gets into the Damian side.
But I feel like he's kind of over in a way. Like I feel like he's over. I feel like the crowd was kind of behind him when he was first won the title and whatnot. So. I think he's kind of on the up and up there, and I think having him in a match with Finn Balor, hopefully it goes well, and Damian Priest can continue to hold his own. And I think it says a lot too about where Vince and them think of Damian Priest if they have him go out there having a championship in his hand and saying he wants to take on a world championship caliber opponent. I think you're not trying to put that out there and say things like that unless you think Damian Priest in his own right has the potential to be a world championship caliber kind of talent or guy for them. So I think the door is open. I think Damian Priest may be a little older than what you would want. He's no young upstart by any means, but I think he's a guy who can get the job done for them and has done pretty well for himself and is maybe at least so far, looking to be like one of these more successful guys to come out of NXT and make a run. But I think he was already kind of pretty mature and kind of stood out in that regard when he was in NXT. So I think that's definitely helped and worked to his advantage. But just based on the things that we've seen from NXT and whatnot, that doesn't always work on their favor. Speaking of which, unless I totally had a dream last night, I saw this. I think on social media, I think maybe on the Snapchat story or something. But I think Tommaso Ciampa was in a tag team match with Finn Balor.
Finn Balor and Ciampa teamed up to face the Dirty Dogs. They were successful, and the next night we got to see Dolph Ziggler taking on Tommaso Ciampa, where Big Bob interfered, and Ziggler got the victory over Tommaso Ciampa. But let's talk about the main event star. You mentioned Damian Priest being a little older, world championship caliber. Say it with me, James. L.A. Knight. Yeah, I mean, he lost against Grayson Waller. But it's okay. He put the young kid over. Let's just bring LA Knight up to Raw. Maybe him challenge for the U.S. title at Mania. Come on, give him something.
Yeah, I'm not against it. I think when you have, maybe it'll take a little bit, but I mean that's why I said I thought I was dreaming when Ciampa was on there. I'm like, oh wow, they're actually gonna.
Apparently they're looking to do more of these kind of rivalries, specifically between Raw and NXT, because obviously they're on the USA network.
Okay.
But it looks like they want to do a little more intermingling between some of these feuds. Right now, I think they're doing the Ziggler Ciampa thing. I don't know if that's going to continue.
Gotcha, because it carries over between the two shows. You're double dipping there a little bit. Exactly. I see that. That makes sense.
It gets people accustomed to some of these NXT names. Obviously, Ciampa's kind of been on Raw before, but still, you get that intermingling, maybe get some interest for NXT. Because Toxic Attraction, Mandy Rose can only do so much. It's looking great. Just did you see Nikita Lyons?
No, I did not. I don't think debut? I did.
Okay, well, she's very popular. Made her debut yesterday. Her pin was basically a split, where her opponent was basically got a face full of, Anyways, Twitter's great for that. Go ahead and look.
Of course. I'm just surprised they allowed it on. But then again,
I think they're going PG. They mentioned OnlyFans on there. They said Wade Barrett said, "Go find her OnlyFans." I'm like, oh no. So apparently they're doing like TV 14 over there in NXT. All right, I gotta watch NXT 2.0 again.
Okay, well, speaking of which,
television.
I mean, you're talking about NXT. Let's talk real quickly here before we end the show about the guy who's running NXT, and that appears to be HBK. Who found himself a little bit on the wrong side of things, where he had I love him. Was it Wilder? I guess what is his name? Dax now in AEW.
Dax Harwood.
He went ahead and said HBK is pretty much, he called him Two-Face pretty much. Thought he had his support. Told the Revival at the time when they were in WWE that they were talented, and as soon as they did the job more or less at Raw 25 for DX.
Look at this right here.
Yeah, it looks like Shawn Michaels kind of poo-pooed the Revival, and more specifically Dax, and kind of changed the subject and was making fun of him after Dax kind of shared some personal stuff there with HBK. So not a good look for HBK. But apparently there was one writer that I saw retweeted on the BTR radio account where Dave Schilling, I guess he was a former writer for WWE, said that he didn't have all that much better of an experience with the Revival when Dave had a promo written for them, and the Revival, I guess, poo-pooed that, if I remember seeing that correctly. But
works both ways, it seems.
It does seem to work. Now, what is this real quick? I know we're about to end, but what is the Undertaker being in the Hall of Fame? Is this official?
Undertaker is in the WWE Hall of Fame. Going to be. WWE Hall. Yes. They're doing I think a 2-for-1 special. SmackDown and the Hall of Fame. So I believe they're doing SmackDown first, and then right after SmackDown, they're doing a Hall of Fame ceremony. So interesting stuff. But yes,
and the Undertaker is going to headline the class.
Yeah. He's
and it's that video package. I'm gonna have to.
You gotta watch it. Great video package.
Is it?
You get to hear Metallica and Kid Rock in that video package. Always good to hear that. So, all right. Until next time, we're gonna talk more WrestleMania. Hopefully, maybe Cody debuts. I don't know. I'm ready. I want to use that. I want to use that GIF already. I want to use it. One with the ear. All right.
Let's
Until
see.
next time, this episode of Beyond the Ropes has been absolutely too sweet.